This one, criminal nil.
The new series of motorway cops catching Britain's speeders starts Easter Monday at 8 on Channel 5 and My5.
Explore one of our oldest and most crucial networks. A brand new The Sewer Map of Britain takes us below ground at 8. Now on Channel 5 and My5, Adrian Dunbar shares his glorious homeland in coastal Ireland.
Exploring breathtaking scenery, Macmillan Mighty Hikes sponsors the great outdoors on Channel 5.
The island of Ireland sits on the western edge of Europe. I'm Adrian Dunbar, and it's great to be home.
What an amazing spot.
Ever since childhood, I've been fascinated by the rugged and wild beauty of Ireland's unique coastline.
Really is spectacular.
With centuries of history, astonishing landscapes and traditions, the Irish coast is like nowhere else.
I've been wanting to do this for such a long time.
I'll drive some great coastal roads, visit staggering cliff tops, fantastic feats of engineering, and have a taste of Ireland's amazing cuisine.
I've got my fork at the ready.
Starting at Ireland's most southerly point, I'll travel north, visiting some breathtaking locations and dropping in to see some old friends. So join me in this series to experience the wonders of Ireland's coast.
Although I live in London, I get to spend a lot of time in Ireland. And in this part of the trip, we're heading up around the north coast, into the northeast of the country, into the province of Ulster, where I'm from. And we're going to meet some great people and go to some really extraordinary places. There are certain parts of it I've never been to before. I can't wait to see them.
This leg of my journey will see me travel over 150 miles, starting from Ireland's most northerly point of Malin in County Donegal, and ending in the beautiful Mountains of Mourne in County Down. It's said the unspoilt and spectacular coastline of Ireland's west coast is best seen with moody skies that offset the emerald waters below. It's certainly true of my first stop, Malin Head. It's the most northerly tip of Ireland, and it's known for its high winds and storms.
We find ourselves in a very raw, exposed northern tip of Ireland.
Oh, without a doubt, like it is one of the last raw sites on the Wild Atlantic Way.
Bren Whelan is a local adventurer and an expert on this area, including its stormy seas.
The weather is a significant thing here, and that's why the shipping forecasts are still from here and the Coast Guard's still from here. And here holds the land wind speed record for Ireland. That stood since 1961. The tail end of Hurricane Debbie came through here. It pushed 98 knots of wind across land, or 181 kilometres an hour. Savage.
Just blow you completely off the cliff,
Oh,
that stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah, crazy.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, it's an amazing place.
As well as the dramatic weather, Malin Head is steeped in history.
In a way, it's one of the most special places in Ireland, really, because it's essentially where Ireland's geological timeline starts. This island is nearly 2 billion years old, and that's really where the story of time and Malin Head really starts.
This part of Ireland has witnessed some of the world's most significant events, with communication and defence being key themes through Malin Head's history. In 1805, the British built a lookout tower to keep an eye out for possible French invasions during the Napoleonic Wars.
Behind us, of course, that's the Martello Tower that was built,
Yeah.
presumably, because we were very afraid of the French.
That is the idea that Napoleon would use Ireland as a backdoor to invade the United Kingdom, Great Britain. And that never happened. He was beaten in the Battle of Waterloo in 1815.
Malin Head also played a part in helping pilots during World War II.
This is lookout post number 80 of 83, and it ties in the significance of this location in terms of communication.
In 1942, a number of ERA signs, which is the Gaelic name for Ireland, were placed along the Irish coast. They were extremely useful in helping pilots identify exactly where they were. And it's not just on land where Malin Head has a strong wartime connection. Beneath its turbulent seas are the relics of ocean liners, German U-boats and Sherman tanks, mainly from World War I and World War II. More sunk off Malin Head than anywhere else in the world. It makes these waters one of the best places to wreck dive in Europe. Above the waves, Malin Head's fascinating history continues. In 1902, a signal station was built close to the old watchtower. It was used by the insurance company Lloyd's of London to contact ships offshore as they pass close to the northern tip of Ireland. It's also where one of the most important pieces of history took place.
A crude-looking instrument, but one that was destined to develop the modern miracles of radio. Marconi amazed the world by sending and receiving wireless messages 3,000 miles across the Atlantic.
On the 3rd of April in 1902, the Marconi Company sent the first ever commercial message to a ship by wireless from this building.
He didn't invent Morse. Morse invented the Morse code, but he invented the idea of getting it to ships at sea. Little people in their cottages around here would have got to know big stories before they actually broke anywhere else.
Yeah, this was like the Instagram or the Twitter of, you know, the 18th, 19th century. If you were on a ship pre-Marconi equipment, you know, message in a bottle was how you kind of got your emergency signal out. And what he did was he was able to take Samuel Morse's work, invented in around 1832, and refine it. His work progressed till he was able to, in 1902, send the first commercial message from Malin Head to the SS Lake, Ontario.
And what was that message?
Malin Head calling, as people are well used to hearing, you know.
Yes, yes.
Malin Head, it's, you know, it's the maritime iconic name.
It really is, yeah.
His equipment started to save lives. When the Titanic first went to sea, its first ship-to-shore message was using Marconi equipment back to Malin Head.
Right.
And then subsequently, when the Titanic sunk, it was Marconi equipment that saved around 700 lives.
It's still an amazing place. Nice, very nice to meet you, Ben.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure.
Next, it's a journey of around 1 hour as I travel south to Inishowen.
One of the great things about Ireland, and in particular the northwest of Ireland, is how much of the megalithic period is still lying around in the landscape. You get a real feel of the ancient past in so many places, and we're going to go and visit one right now. It's called the Grianan an Aileach, or Grianan Fort. It's between County Donegal and County Derry, and every time I think of Derry and Donegal, I think of Grianan Fort as a kind of a clasp holding the two of them together. It's absolutely stunning.
Ireland has some of the most impressive prehistoric ruins in the world, and perched 800 foot above the sea, on top of Greenan Hill, is the incredible Grianan of Aileach. Built over 3,500 years ago, it was once the seat of the Kingdom of Aileach. Like many other hilltop forts in Ireland, it is orientated towards the sun. As well as being a place of refuge, it would have also been a place of ritual. The fort is surrounded by much myth and legend. Some say the giants of Inishowen lie sleeping deep beneath the monument, and when a sacred sword is removed, they'll spring to life and reclaim their ancient lands. While we may never know its true origins, we can all agree it's one of the most significant Neolithic settlements in Ireland, a jewel of ancient times gone by. Next.
It's quite deep here, isn't it?
A steep, all right.
I'm on a hair-raising rope bridge visiting a 400-year-old fishery that's built on a tiny rock. Take one of Northern Ireland's most scenic train journeys and meet a local sportsman from a road racing dynasty.
Very excited about seeing this young man.
Exploring breathtaking scenery, Macmillan Mighty Hikes sponsors the great outdoors on Channel 5.
January 1990, when nature battered the UK.
It's Britain's worst weather disaster.
Part of the hoarding went through his windscreen. All of a sudden, we don't know whether he's going to live or die.
That proved more catastrophic than any other.
Walls down, cars in the street. It was a war zone.
Britain's killer hurricane of 1990, Saturday at 9:35 on Channel 5.
Charles, take the spare room.
I know it's not easy having someone in the house that you don't know.
He's not the man you think he is, Jessica. What do you mean?
The woman is insane. Are you trying to get into our heads, that it?
That's what they always say.
Brand new 4-part drama, The Cuckoo, starts Monday the 8th of April on Channel 5 and My5.
Its secrets have remained hidden for centuries.
Who built it? Why did they build it? When did they build it? But above all, how did they build it?
Finally, modern science has started to unlock one of the greatest mysteries of all time.
It's just mind-blowing.
Stonehenge, The Discovery with Dan Snow, Easter Sunday at 9 on Channel 5 and My5.
I'm Adrian Dunbar, and I'm travelling the west and north coasts of the island of Ireland, rediscovering the fascinating history that keeps bringing me back to this unique part of the world. I'm making my way to a place of historical importance now as I leave County Donegal and take a short ferry crossing to County Derry. It's a journey that marks a very significant point. In 1921, the island of Ireland was partitioned, creating Northern Ireland. I'm now crossing the border, leaving the Republic of Ireland and entering Northern Ireland. My first steps are on Magilligan Beach, a 7-mile stretch of unbroken golden sands. It's where an important piece of history took place.